Welcome back to Demolition Worker, where we tackle the impossible. Today, we destroy the iconic McDonnell Douglas DC-10 rear tail engine. This legendary aircraft features a massive third engine mounted directly on the vertical stabilizer, presenting a unique and dangerous dismantling challenge today. To safely remove this beast, our crew must operate a heavy crane reaching heights equivalent to a 5-story modern commercial building. Before any giant excavator can crush the aluminum tail section, we must carefully detach and lower that massive multi-ton turbine assembly. The engineering behind this tri-jet was revolutionary for its time, but now this retired giant must be broken down into scrap metal. Standing beneath the towering tail fin, you can truly appreciate the terrifying scale of this aerospace monster waiting for our destruction crew. Our site manager carefully reviews the complex structural blueprints to locate the primary mounting bolts holding the heavy turbine to the tail. Every single step requires absolute precision, because one wrong move could cause the entire vertical stabilizer to collapse under its own weight. Heavy machinery operators conduct rigorous safety checks on the massive crawler crane, ensuring all hydraulic systems are functioning perfectly for the lift. Wind speed is a critical factor today. A sudden gust could easily swing the suspended engine and endanger our entire ground crew. Workers strap into their heavy safety harnesses, preparing to ascend the towering tail section using a specialized aerial work platform lift system. The man basket slowly rises alongside the silver fuselage, bringing our skilled technicians face to face with the gigantic exhaust nozzle assembly. Up close, the sheer size of the fan blades is absolutely breathtaking, reminding us of the incredible thrust this machine once generated. Using heavy industrial impact wrenches, the crew begins loosening the massive titanium bolts that have secured this turbine for over 3 decades. Thick layers of industrial grease and accumulated grime make the dismantling process incredibly difficult, requiring specialized chemical solvents to loosen stubborn joints. Sparks fly into the air as the cutting torch slices through the heavy steel brackets connecting the engine casing to the stabilizer. The crane operator carefully maneuvers the massive steel lifting hook into position, hovering just inches above the exposed structural rigging attachment points. High-tension steel cables are securely wrapped around the engine core, creating a perfectly balanced cradle to support the immense lifting weight. Ground controllers communicate constantly via radio, ensuring the crane maintains exact tension on the lifting cables without pulling the aircraft off balance. The final structural pins are violently hammered out, completely severing the physical connection between the heavy jet engine and the vertical fin. A loud metallic groan echoes across the scrapyard as the crane takes on the full weight of the massive jet engine block. Slowly and methodically, the gigantic turbine is lifted away from its housing, exposing the empty structural cavity inside the towering tail section. The engine dangles precariously in the sky, a multi-ton pendulum of steel and titanium suspended by nothing but thin wire ropes. The crane operator demonstrates incredible skill, smoothly rotating the massive boom to swing the heavy payload away from the fragile aluminum fuselage. Ground crews clear the drop zone immediately, watching nervously as the gigantic aerospace artifact descends slowly toward the concrete staging area below. With a heavy thud, the engine finally touches the ground, safely completing the most dangerous and complex phase of our daily demolition operation. Workers immediately approach the grounded turbine, using powerful hydraulic shears to strip away the valuable titanium fan blades from the central rotor. Every piece of high-grade aerospace alloy is carefully sorted into specific recycling bins, maximizing the financial return from this dismantled aircraft. The intricate network of fuel lines and hydraulic hoses is violently ripped apart, exposing the complex mechanical heart of the jet engine. Now that the heavy engine is safely removed, we can finally focus our attention on destroying the towering aluminum vertical tail section. A massive mechanical excavator, equipped with terrifying hydraulic crushing jaws, slowly rolls onto the tarmac and approaches the vulnerable rear tail assembly. The operator raises the heavy steel boom, positioning the sharp metal shears directly above the highest point of the vertical stabilizer fin. With a terrifying crunch, the hydraulic jaws bite into the thin aluminum skin, effortlessly tearing away huge chunks of the painted fuselage. Shards of sharp metal rain down onto the concrete below as the relentless machine continues its violent assault on the aircraft tail. The internal structural ribs of the stabilizer are exposed and systematically snapped in half like fragile wooden twigs under the immense pressure. Thick hydraulic fluid pulses through the excavator hoses, delivering unstoppable crushing power to the heavy steel jaws tearing through the aviation aluminum. Piece by piece, the once proud vertical tail fin is violently reduced to twisted heaps of unrecognizable scrap metal on the ground. The sheer destructive force of the hydraulic shear is absolutely mesmerizing to watch as it effortlessly slices through thick aerospace support beams. Dust and debris fill the air around the demolition zone, creating a chaotic scene of industrial destruction against the bright blue sky. Our ground crew continuously sprays water over the wreckage to suppress the thick, toxic dust clouds generated by the violent tearing process. The excavator operator skillfully maneuvers the heavy steel jaws to grab and crush the remaining structural framework of the lower tail section. A massive chunk of the painted fuselage is violently ripped away, revealing the complex internal wiring systems that once controlled the rudder. Copper wires and electronic components are mercilessly shredded by the sharp steel teeth, adding to the growing mountain of valuable industrial scrap. The deafening sound of tearing metal echoes constantly across the busy scrapyard, a harsh symphony of absolute mechanical destruction and raw power. Within minutes, the towering 5-story tail section has been completely leveled, leaving only a jagged stump attached to the main fuselage. The demolition crew takes a brief moment to survey the incredible destruction, amazed by the ruthless efficiency of modern heavy industrial machinery. Small front-end loaders quickly move in to scoop up the scattered aluminum fragments, clearing the concrete workspace for the next phase. We must carefully separate the different types of shredded materials, ensuring the valuable titanium and copper do not mix with cheap aluminum. The massive hydraulic shear returns to finish the job, aggressively biting into the reinforced structural bulkheads at the base of the tail. Sparks scatter brilliantly across the concrete as the heavy steel blades violently grind against hidden titanium reinforcement brackets buried inside the fuselage. The sheer raw power required to dismantle such a massive commercial aircraft is a true testament to modern industrial engineering and machinery. Every single component of this retired passenger jet will eventually be melted down and repurposed into completely new consumer products and vehicles. The heavy excavator shifts its tracks, repositioning its massive weight to gain a better attack angle on the stubborn rear pressure bulkhead. With one final devastating crunch, the last remaining section of the tail assembly is violently torn away from the main aircraft body. The heavy steel jaws drop the twisted metal wreckage onto the scrap pile, completing the brutal destruction of the iconic vertical stabilizer. Watching this legendary aircraft being systematically destroyed is a bittersweet experience for aviation enthusiasts who remember its glorious days in the sky. However, the recycling process is absolutely essential for the environment, recovering thousands of pounds of valuable materials for future industrial manufacturing needs. Our dedicated crew works tirelessly through the afternoon heat, continuously sorting and processing the massive mountains of jagged aerospace debris scattered around. A heavy-duty electromagnet is attached to a secondary crane, easily sweeping over the demolition zone to collect any stray iron components. The magnetic crane lifts hundreds of heavy steel bolts and brackets into the air, dropping them loudly into a designated recycling dumpster. Meanwhile, the dismantled jet engine continues to be stripped down by specialized technicians using high-powered plasma cutters and heavy-impact drivers. The incredibly dense titanium compressor blades are carefully extracted from the turbine core, representing some of the most valuable scrap on site. Thick black oil bleeds from the severed hydraulic lines of the engine, requiring immediate cleanup to prevent dangerous environmental contamination on site. The heavy outer casing of the jet engine is violently sliced open, exposing the intricate combustion chambers that once burned jet fuel. It is truly fascinating to witness the complex internal anatomy of such a powerful aerospace machine laid bare on the concrete floor. The demolition team uses a powerful forklift to transport a central rotor assembly toward the specialized industrial metal shredding facility nearby. Inside the shredder, massive rotating steel hammers will violently pulverize the titanium components into small, manageable pieces for the final melting process. The loud roaring sound of the industrial shredder consuming the heavy aerospace alloys is absolutely deafening, shaking the ground beneath our feet. As the sun begins to set over the busy scrapyard, our exhausted crew continues to process the endless piles of twisted metal. The once majestic commercial airliner has been completely reduced to a chaotic landscape of jagged aluminum shards and heavy steel engine components. Tomorrow, the giant hydraulic shear will return to aggressively attack the main cylindrical fuselage, slicing the passenger cabin into small transportable sections. But for today, the successful removal and destruction of the iconic tail engine stands as a massive operational victory for our crew. The precision required to safely dismantle the towering vertical stabilizer without causing a catastrophic collapse demonstrates the incredible expertise of our operators. Every safety protocol was strictly followed, ensuring that no workers were injured during the highly dangerous engine lifting and structural crushing procedures. The heavy crawler crane is finally powered down, its massive steel boom resting silently against the darkening evening sky after working hard. Hydraulic fluids are carefully drained from the massive excavator, preparing the relentless machine for another brutal day of tearing through aerospace aluminum. The mountains of sorted scrap metal glisten under the bright, artificial stadium lights surrounding the active industrial demolition staging area this evening. Fleet trucks will soon arrive to transport these valuable recycled materials directly to heavy smelting facilities located across the entire industrial region. Inside the blazing hot furnaces, this twisted aerospace scrap will be melted down and reborn as completely new raw manufacturing materials tomorrow. It is an endless cycle of creation and violent destruction, driven by the relentless global demand for high-quality industrial metal resources. The iconic McDonnell Douglas DC-10 will always hold a special place in commercial aviation history, characterized by its incredibly powerful tail engine. Dismantling such a historically significant machine is always a profound experience, blending deep respect for engineering with the brutal reality of recycling. Our heavy machinery operators take immense pride in their dangerous work, knowing they are essential to the modern industrial metal recycling ecosystem. Without these massive hydraulic shears and towering cranes, safely disposing of obsolete commercial aircraft would be an absolutely impossible and dangerous task. The demolition site finally grows completely silent, leaving only the cool night wind blowing through the jagged remains of the torn fuselage. A lone security guard slowly patrols the perimeter fence, keeping a watchful eye over the millions of dollars worth of salvaged titanium. We have successfully conquered the legendary three-engine beast today, proving once again that no structure is too massive for our team. The incredible footage captured today showcases the terrifying view of heavy industrial demolition, a perfect ballet of massive machines and raw power. Every single spark, crunch, and heavy impact tells the fascinating story of how human engineering systematically dismantles its own glorious mechanical creations. We hope you have enjoyed watching this thrilling breakdown of the iconic tail engine as much as we enjoyed destroying it today. The sheer scale of this aerospace demolition project truly highlights the extreme capabilities of our modern heavy-duty construction and recycling equipment. Next week, we will return to tackle an even bigger challenge, bringing our massive hydraulic shears to a decommissioned military naval vessel. Be sure to subscribe to our channel so you never miss another exciting episode of extreme industrial destruction and heavy machinery action. Hit that notification bell to stay updated on all our latest projects, where we tear apart the biggest machines on the planet. Leave a comment below telling us what gigantic vehicle or massive structure you want to see our demolition crew completely destroy next. Thank you so much for watching our incredible journey through the fascinating and violent world of heavy industrial aerospace recycling and demolition. This is Demolition Worker, signing off for now, reminding you that sometimes you have to destroy the past to build the future.